Hey everyone. So our live today, I have Josh from Harry Tornado. I just want to say that this man takes his time to help us new YouTubers out, new YouTuber creators, and also he takes time and helps people with their eBay. So Josh, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. I think most people know about you, but still, in case they're new, I want them to know.
Sure. So my name's Josh. I go by Harry Tornado on YouTube, eBay, Instagram, all that stuff. I have been reselling for, well, I've been thrifting and like doing local flips for like 5 or 6 years, but I didn't get into eBay flipping until October of 2018. I just thought shipping stuff would be annoying. And it is annoying sometimes, but it's definitely worth it. And I found that out pretty quickly. It's a part-time reseller from October 2018 until August 2019. Then I got laid off from my job. I was an insurance agent. And then I just decided to try eBay and YouTube full time. And it's been working out pretty well for me so far. You mentioned helping people. I do live videos on my channel occasionally. Now a lot because there's nothing else to do. And I'll do eBay store reviews or YouTube channel reviews or something like that to help out anybody who's interested. But I do have the caveat that I am not a professional. This is just my opinion. There are way more, YouTube content creators and resellers out there that are making more money and get more views. But I'm trying to separate myself out by doing stuff like this. Like, some people only, I've got 100,000 subscribers. I'm not going to come on your live show because you've only got 20,000 or whatever. So I just try to spread the love whenever I can, no matter how many, no matter what size your audience is. So yeah.
I think that's pretty awesome of you to do that. I've caught a couple of your lives and then I reached out to you because I wanted to learn a little bit more about you, and people who might be subscribed to my channel, might not know about you, and I'd like them to get to know you because, like I said, you're always helping us all out on different things that you can show us. And I think you're professional because, I don't know that much about it, but I know there is more people out there that know a lot more, but still, little new YouTubers like me, you still learn everything every day. And I always say that even about reselling, you learn every day, no matter how old you are.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, my man Team Wrecked is here. What's up, man? Thanks for coming. I posted a link to this video in my community page like an hour ago or so. So I'm hoping that a few more people come out. Oh, Nurse Flipper is in the house.
Yeah, we've got a couple. It looks like Marilyn's here and Scooter is here. So thank you guys for joining us.
Awesome.
So the video is, why did you start selling that? So my first question is, why did you go to the dollar store and pick out some syrup to sell some syrup?
In case you guys don't know what she's talking about, I recently sold some, I think it's like coffee flavoring syrup or something. It was a vanilla and a hazelnut. And I just got on this hitch one day and I was like, I'm going to go do retail arbitrage at Dollar Tree because all these people go to Dollar Tree and get stuff for $1 and they're selling it for 20 or 30. Like, that's crazy. And there's just so much more to it than that. Like, I do not recommend. I did sell something today. I got some seasoning, some like Kingsford seasoning. I paid $3, 3 of them, and I sold it for $19.99, free shipping. So pretty good. But that was also very lightweight and first class. The syrup was bad because it was super heavy, and even the sold comps at the time I bought it, it was like, I don't know what I was thinking. So it didn't sell for like 6 months. It was almost expired, and then 2 of them sold. I think I still have two more out there. But I don't know. It's just one of those things, you get excited about a new sourcing opportunity, I guess.
Yes.
And you buy one thing and then you buy another thing and you just keep buying and buying. And so whatever. Yeah. That's one thing I like about reselling is that even with the mistakes, you never really lose that much money. I think it was a lot of 2, like 1 vanilla and 1 hazelnut. I think they were selling for like $13 or $12 or $13 free shipping. It was costing like $8, $9, $10 to ship. So
yeah,
I don't think I lost money. Maybe I think I lost money on one of them, but I don't know why I bought that. I just thought it was a good idea at the time.
Speaking of ways to source, I did see that you went to Plato's Closet one time. Do you source from there, or do you just take items back that you couldn't sell? And do you recommend that to new resellers?
So the only reseller I've seen successfully source from Plato's Closet, like I say successfully, like, yeah, you might buy something for $4 or $5 and be able to double your money. But the only guy I've seen to make a serious flip from there is the College Picker, Eric. He goes by College Picker on Instagram and YouTube. And I've seen him flip a few pair of shoes from there, and like some Patagonia jackets. Like a lot of times Plato's will buy Patagonia jackets thinking they're modern, but Eric has a really vast knowledge of like vintage Patagonia. So he'll find something listed at Plato's for 30 or 35 bucks, and he knows that it's a $150 jacket. So I think I don't think I'd recommend it for newbies, because it's basically just a really expensive thrift store. If you don't know what you're doing, you've got to have like your knowledge about brands and items needs to be so high that you can look through the sea of used clothing to find the gems, like something that's worth paying up $30 for to make 150 on. I've seen them flip some shoes as well. They had like some Jordans. I think he paid like 50 or 60 for them and sold them for like 200. I think they're like the Nike foam posits or whatever. But I do not source at Plato's Closet. I only sell there. I'm sure there's some deals to be found, but I don't think it's a good use of my time. Like I think for 3 or 4 hours, if I dig through everything, I might find 1 or 2 things that I could make a profit on, but it's just not what I want to do.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing to source, and which is your least favorite thing to source?
So my least favorite thing to source is clothing. Well, actually, I don't mind sourcing clothing. I just don't like doing anything else with it. I like sourcing and shipping. Those are easy, but I don't like listing and measuring and answering questions. Like you've got a pair of shorts for, $8 plus shipping, and somebody's like, "Can you open up the bag and tell me the measurement from the crotch down to the inner left leg?" I'm like, "No, they're $8. No, I'm not going to do that."
If these were $100 pair of jeans, I would.
It's just
maybe.
So, and then returns with clothing, my returns are really bad, even with when you do measurements. So I don't know. I got out of clothing, I think, at a really good time, because right now, at least my clothing's not selling.
Well, I'm no good in fashion. If you've seen any of my videos, that's why I've got this clothes rack full of clothes back here for my Poshmark. But I'm not good in fashion. And so when they're asking me what kind of knit it is or something, I'm like, "Huh? You want to know what?"
Yeah. I saw somebody on Instagram one time posted like a chart of all the different dresses and like what their names are. Like, oh, this is a summer dress and this is a whatever. And there was like 30 of them. I'm like, they all look like dresses to me. Like, that's crazy. I think if you're someone like maybe Hustle at Home Mom or something, you should have a pretty good knowledge of dress types and styles and like stuff like Lululemon. Like Lululemon has different style names and stuff, and I just don't want to get into that. Like, it's so many people are getting into selling clothing nowadays, and I don't know. I mean, everybody needs clothing and it sells all the time, but I just haven't had luck with it. Not enough luck to warrant listing it when I hate listing it. So definitely don't like listing clothing. My favorite thing to source is I don't know, just like small electronics. Like when I go, there's a Salvation Army in my town, and whenever I go there, there's a section in the back that's like, they have the regular electronics, which is like usually big printers and like stereo equipment, like bigger items. And then they have a small shelf kind of tucked back in the corner with smaller electronics. And that's all the time I'll find like those Sony like tape recorders. I found one last time I went to Salvation Army a couple of weeks ago, and I paid $1.99 for it and sold it for $40. It didn't even have a tape. It was just the unit by itself. So I love finding those small electronics that generally have a higher average sell price, like turning $2 into 40. And also they're really easy to ship. And usually you don't get returns. People that buy stuff like that actually want it for whatever reason. Yeah.
When you first started reselling, what was something that wasn't selling then that is selling like hotcakes now? If there is any.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think everything has a season or a time. Like right now, I don't know, like video game stuff is selling. Like when I first started selling, like the first Nintendo Wii I ever sold, I think it was like $24 free shipping. And that was the market price for Wii's then. But now I'm selling Wii's for, $50 free shipping. So they've doubled in value over the last, because of the situation we're in. So video games are definitely at an all-time high. I checked the sold comps on Sidewalk Chalk, and you're not gonna get rich off selling Sidewalk Chalk, but it's selling every single day, like multiple times a day. So you just had, I think one of the most important factors in being a successful reseller is being able to read the market, like put yourself in the eyes of, the general public that isn't aware of reselling. Like, what do people want right now? Like Sidewalk Chalk is really good. Video games, puzzles, like people need indoor activities or outdoor activities, I guess. But in my video today, I'm talking about golfing equipment, and I don't know about golfing equipment. Normally, this would be the perfect time to sell golfing equipment, but I don't know if people are still out there playing golf. I don't know if golf courses are still open. I don't think they're essential, but I also don't think they're like a breeding ground. Like, you're not really close to anybody, So I don't know. Like, I personally haven't checked the market on it, but I would think that most sporting equipment is down right now when generally it would be up. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just spoke with my uncle the other day, and he plays golf pretty frequent, and he said that with right now that he can't go to the golf course because they're shut down. But he's in California, so I don't know if that's just because of California or if it's everywhere. So
I know our golf courses were open last week, but I'm in South Carolina, and they didn't shut down. They didn't have like a mandatory shutdown of all non-essential businesses until April 1st, yesterday. But my Goodwills apparently are staying open because they claim to be essential. So I don't know about that. We'll see. Somebody might force them to shut down or something. My Goodwills here, Goodwills are run regionally, and mine are like super greedy. Like, not with the prices, just with like they're open until like 9 or 10 p.m. And I don't know. They just like making like, I don't know why they wouldn't have closed sooner. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in Colorado, and as far as I know, they're closed. And I also wanted to answer this question to, is it Team Rec? I think it is.
Team Rect.
Rect. My favorite brands to sell is, of course, like North Face and those bigger brands that I do know. I'm not too much into clothing. Like I said a few minutes ago, I'm not very good in fashion. But my favorite thing to sell on eBay, and if you see a couple of my videos, actually is board games or card games. I love selling games. So I'm doing pretty good with that because, like Josh was saying, that people are looking for things to do inside. They're getting bored with watching TV or doing their normal routine. So they're looking for things to do as a family.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody asked me recently about like sourcing, like how do you source right now? And it's a tough time. Like, some people say you can't source at all. I got some flack the other day for sourcing on Facebook Marketplace because I didn't use a hazmat suit or whatever it is. So there's like a whole spectrum. Like, obviously, if you're in New York City, you shouldn't be sourcing anything. Like, I wouldn't even buy wholesale lots or anything. Like, you just need to be locked down. I don't know how it is in Colorado, but South Carolina, I think we have just over 1,000 cases in the state. So it's not, it's not good, obviously, but it's not that bad. So I don't know. I would say, depending on your situation, probably maybe retail arbitrage at like a grocery store or somewhere. Like, if you buy your groceries at Walmart, might run to the toy section or something and see if you find anything to flip on eBay. Maybe pay for the groceries. Some people don't agree with that. I'm sure. So I would not recommend putting it in a YouTube video right now. A bunch of dislikes. But if you're dependent on an income from a reselling business and you need inventory, online arbitrage is probably your best. And then retail arbitrage at a place where you already need to go, like a grocery store, would be your second best bet.
Yeah, I got really lucky and I bought a storage locker before all this happened. So I still have quite a bit of inventory down here in the basement and in the garage. So I'm working through that and trying to keep my inventory going. I've been trying to list 10 things a day. I usually only about have 2 hours because I have a 17-month-old and he takes up quite a bit of my time. So I try and get everything done while he's sleeping.
I don't have any excuses. We have no kids. Our dog just sleeps all the time. I have nothing to stop me from listing like 50 things a day other than my own laziness.
I was going to ask you, so somebody that is not a self-motivator, do you recommend they resell or start a YouTube channel?
Sure. Like, I think reselling is cool. I think it's, I think the the reward for your work is it comes pretty quickly. Like pretty much anybody can go to a thrift store, not now, but go to a thrift store normally, buy something, sell it on eBay within a week or so, and get that reward to help them motivated to keep going. So doing it as a hobby or part-time is cool. I think going in to do it full-time, like you really need to be a self-motivator. You really need to have like just a sense of responsibility. Like a lot of entrepreneurs I'm seeing are just like rogue and they're all about just making profits, but they don't think about their business from a business standpoint, like marketing and taxes. So many people don't pay their taxes. They don't tell you, but I know for a fact, so many people that don't pay their taxes. So I don't know. It's more than just flipping and making a profit. There's so much more that goes into it once you get full time. If you want to do it part time, I mean, you still have to pay your taxes, but it takes a certain person to be a successful full time reseller. I would think.
I would agree with that. I mean, I was part-time. I was working a full-time job as a dental assistant previous to going full-time. I've been almost 2 years full-time now. But I was like listing one thing a day on the Fridays that I was off, and then had my little one. And I was like, well, I need to supplement my income that I had from working to reselling. So I've been trying to do my best to do that. And I send out best offers, kind of hint on why my name's there. But yeah, I try and hustle to get that sale.
Yeah, for sure. You got to, especially now, like, well, it also depends on what you're selling. Like I'm sending offers like 50, 75% off for like clothing and shoes right now, just trying to move some out. But like stuff that's selling like puzzles, Sidewalk Chalk, video games, I'm not taking offers at all on those because I know they're going to sell. It doesn't look like we're going to be out of this situation anytime soon. So, I mean, like I've got one Nintendo Wii left. I think it's currently listed for $48, but I'm thinking about taking it down or either increasing the price a little bit more. College Picker talked on this Instagram the other day about like price gouging, but it depends on what you're comfortable with, but I think price gouging only counts when it's stuff that is like a necessity to survival or fighting the virus, like Germ-X, masks, stuff like that. Like obviously you're not going to, I wouldn't even recommend selling those at all.
No.
But as far as like video games and like Bowflex dumbbells, like that's just a luxury right now. You don't need those. So that's just something that's the market value for those items have gone up, and because they're not a necessity. And if people have the money, we got to make money somehow,
Yeah. And I know that Rev Resell here, he sells a lot of beauty products, and he had them previous, to everything happening. And I'm sure people are like, I can't even go to the store to get it, or, so they're buying up everything that he's got.
Yeah, that's another reason why retail arbitrage is super, it just works right now, because before all this happened, retail arbitrage only worked when you could find something and maybe it wasn't available in a certain area. Like if you had something in the Southeast that wasn't available in the Midwest, then you could buy it there and sell it to somebody across the country that didn't have it available. But now you can flip things, retail arbitrage, that are available everywhere, but people just don't want to go out and get it, So like I said, if you're already at a grocery store or at Walmart or Target or something, scroll on over to the toy section or video game section, see if you could buy something to make a quick buck on.
Yeah. I see Flips and Finds Fun here. Finds Fun says that he just started a YouTube channel to help the reseller community. And that's honestly why I did it too, because I had a couple of people on Instagram asking me questions, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to start making a couple of videos of it. And actually I've gotten a couple of my friends to like what I'm doing and wanting to do it too. Of course, it's not the best time to do it right now, but they're like, hey, you've got me on board.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. I think we've all gotten the thing to where, like, if you're making YouTube videos about this stuff, you're just creating competition, you're saturating the market, you're ruining reselling. But no matter how easy you make it for some people, not everybody is going to do it. Like I took a guy one time, I told him how easy it was. I took him to Goodwill. He bought a GPS for like $4 and sold it within like a week for like 103 or something. And I was like, oh, great. He's going to be a reseller now. And he didn't. He's completely stopped. He's like, that was fun. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, why would you not want to continue doing this? So I don't know. I guess people just think it is a lot of work, but I mean, especially with teenagers, I see all these teenagers working at like McDonald's. Like, why would you ever want to work at McDonald's for $8 or $9 an hour? We can just flip stuff. it's super easy to make $15 an hour flipping stuff. Like incredibly easy. Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
It may not be a full-time job where you can support like a family and everything, but if you're just a college student and you want to like my brother-in-law's in college right now and he's working at like, I don't know, he's doing like Postmates and all these little like side jobs. I'm like, dude, just get into eBay flipping. Like he's got an apartment, he's got plenty of room to store probably 50 to 100 items. I'm like, if you source like smart items, it's going to be a way better use of your time than working all these little side jobs.
Yeah.
But they don't care.
Yeah. What is your favorite way to source?
Probably garage sales, just because you can negotiate there. Well, my Salvation Army sometimes lets me negotiate. Like if I buy a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like Goodwills don't let you negotiate and they don't really care. You know, it's whatever. Salvation Army sometimes will work with me a bit, but garage sales, you can go and buy a bunch of stuff and they'll knock the price down 80% or something, you know, if you buy enough. So that's definitely my favorite place to source. Yeah,
I enjoy sourcing at yard sales and garage sales too, because usually people are like, I just want to get rid of this, you know, here's $1 for this item, 50 cents for this item, you know, and you can get a good return on investment. And, you know, if there's new resellers out there, that's the way I recommend doing it, because they can get quite a bit of inventory for less money.
Yeah.
And I recently got a GoPro, so I'm asking most of the resellers that have GoPros, when I go into the thrift store, do I need to disclose to them that I'm recording in there, or just go on the sneak?
No, I've never told anybody I was recording. I've been asked at a garage sale, like, am I recording? But I've never been asked at a thrift store. I think if you do the backpack clip thing, like I wouldn't strap it to your chest or strap it on your head or anything, because that's just asking for attention. But when you clip it on a backpack, it's most people don't notice it, especially because it's the same color as the strap. And even if it is, it's just like, I think people think it's part of the backpack, you know, like, oh, maybe he takes that backpack skiing or whatever, and that's just his part of it, you know. So I've never asked for permission, but I've also never been told to stop either. But that's South Carolina. Yeah, I know a lot of Josh up in New Jersey. He gets asked all the time not to film with the same method. He uses a backpack too. So I think it really depends on where you are.
Yeah, and I seen in one of your videos, I think it was your office tour, you were showing the clip that you use, and I am looking into getting one of those too, because I think if I'm running around with it in my hand too, they're going to be like, what is she doing? Yeah.
I've always had the mental thing where it's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission.
Yeah.
If they ask for permission, they have time to think about it and ask their manager, and then they're like, "Ugh, better not say that." But
yeah,
chances are if you just do it, they're not going to care. You know.
Yeah. And speaking of your videos, the Instagram video I loved, because I recently listened to a podcast. I can't even remember who it was. Otherwise, I would be shouting them out, because it really made my mind think about things. But we are always obsessing over everybody's Instagram stacks. And like you said, like, I've got this stack to the ceiling, but it's really only, you know, $150 after all of the fees and expenses. So I was like, yes, I love that video.
Yeah, I mean, Instagram stacks can be so deceiving. I keep talking about College Picker a lot, but he sells a lot of like electronics. Like his main thing is like buying broken stuff at like thrift store at pawn shops and flipping them on eBay after he fixes them. So his ASP is like over $100. So he'll have a stack of 3 or 4 items that's like $2,000 in sales, you know. But other people that sell clothing that they bought for $5 and selling it for $12 or whatever, they've got a huge pile of poly bags, and it's after taxes and expenses and everything, it's like $100, you know. So that day I had a lot of sales, but it was all like smaller items. I was like, I'm going to make that video today. My stack almost went to my ceiling, and I think it was like $800 and something gross, but the profit was only like $220 or something. So yeah, it really just doesn't matter about what your stack looks like. It's all about the profits.
Exactly. Everybody wants to see that.
I like stacks. I like seeing it. It's fun, but just if you post your stack, I want to know your actual profit. Like, don't just post your stack and say, "Oh, great weekend," because that doesn't mean anything. You could have lost money on all those items.
Yeah, and then when it's over, you know, 3 days or whatever, it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna have a ton.
Yeah, the Tesla picker says that's why I don't post stacks. Maybe
Yeah,
one day if I have a crazy stack. I'm like, yeah, like if I got like 40 things going out in one day, I'm gonna post a picture of that, you know?
Yeah, I think part-time pickers the other day said he almost filled up the mail track. So those ones I'm like, yes, that's awesome. Like your mailman or lady is probably like, oh, I don't have room for this stuff.
Yeah. My mail lady is actually really nice about it. I don't know if she says something like they get credit for pickups or something. So I don't know if they get like, oh, you picked up 30 packages today from that crazy guy over there. So I don't know, but she's never had an issue with it.
Oh, my mailman, he does not like me. He drives straight past, even if he sees I have a stack. He's been getting better, but yeah, crazy. He used to be. I'd be outside and like waving at him, and he's like, "No."
Sorry, I didn't see you.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny, but it's getting better. And their Slipper's saying that they get paid extra for pickups.
Yeah, because I asked her, I was like, would it be easier for you or better for you in any way if I like scheduled these pickups on the website? She said no, because they still, as long as they scan them in as accepted, like while they're on their route, it still counts the same. I did have a temporary worker last week on her day off, like my main lady's day off. And she was like, we're not supposed to pick these up if you don't have a scheduled pickup. I'm like, I'm not going to go every day online. Like, this is my house. I live here. Monday through Friday, there will be an IKEA bag on the porch for you to pick up. Like,
exactly.
That's every single day for the last 7 months. There's been an IKEA bag on the porch for you to pick up.
Yeah. You're like, you need to get used to this route.
Yeah. My mail lady says I'm the only one on her route that has a pickup constantly. So it should be pretty easy to remember.
Tesla picker saying that Reb's stacks are crazy every day, so get it.
Jason,
so I want to open up the chat too, to if anybody has any questions for Josh, they can ask any questions and I'll try to get them answered. I might not get them all answered, but I definitely want to open that up. And I also want to ask you for a PO box. If somebody is new to reselling, do you recommend them getting a PO box?
It's really just a personal choice. Like if you don't have a YouTube channel, I'd probably just use your home address because you'd only use it for returns, and most people, it's whatever. I got a PO box because I didn't want to put, once I linked my eBay store with my YouTube channel, I didn't want people to be able to go to my eBay store and then see my home address there. I don't think anything's going to ever happen. I mean, I've only got 29,000 subscribers, whatever, I don't think anybody's out to get me yet. But just for, I think my PO box is $50 every 6 months or so. So I use it for returns and fan mail. I don't like calling it that, but that's basically.
I love your board, by the way. And I've been looking for a postcard to send you, but every time I go to the store or any store, they're sold out of Colorado ones. I'm like, ugh!
I don't think I've ever seen, the only place I've ever seen a postcard here is like gift shops of like the zoo and museum and stuff. Like they don't have them in stores here. I guess there's not much. Nobody wants to send a postcard from South Carolina.
So it looks like we have a question here from Rev.
Do I use TubeBuddy or VidIQ with your channel? Do you think it helps with smaller channels? Yeah, so I use VidIQ, the free Google Chrome extension. There's a free version and a paid version. I do not have the paid version, so I don't know what that is. But the free one's pretty cool. It'll tell you like one of my favorite things about it is like it helps with keywords. Like when you put your tags in the video, it'll tell you if you're ranking for that tag. I don't think I rank for any tags except Harry Tornado and HARRY Tornado. But it's a good, it'll give you like a score. So like while you're posting the video, like about to make it public, it'll say like, you can improve this. Did you share it to Facebook? Did you share it to Twitter? Is your title too long? Is your title too short? So it's not, I don't know. You can do whatever you want on a YouTube channel, but that's a generally good tool to use. So, and it's free. So I definitely like that. Am I ready for the mohawk? Guys, I really want a mohawk.
I don't think the wife approves. I think we have to get approval.
Yeah, we're going to need to sign a petition or something. Because I talked to her last night. I was like, Haley, all right, for real. Like everybody on this video, I think only one lady said no. Yeah. And her name was like Karen or something. So I'm like, whatever. Oh, Karen. But I wish I could find a picture. I think there was an old one on my Instagram that I had because I used to have a mohawk. It was a night of debauchery, and I was like, guys, I'm gonna cut my back in my pre-marriage days. You know, I've been a Christian my whole life, but you know, back in college, made some mistakes here and there. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
And so I was like, guys, we should cut my hair into a mohawk, and we did it, and it was great. Like I loved it. Like everybody there that night was like, dude, that looks way better than I thought it was going to. I was like, yeah, I kept it for probably 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. But Haley is pretty adamant about me not doing it. She
Yeah.
wasn't with me when I did it the first time. She doesn't even know what it looks like.
Yeah. I recently got a dinosaur suit, you know, those ones that blow up. And so I was going to say on my next video that if I can get to 500 subscribers, that I will run around with that suit on, or maybe even go to a yard sale if we're allowed to at that time in this suit.
That would definitely be fun.
Yeah. And my husband's like, you're going to do what? So I guess I have to get approval for that too.
See, that's not nearly as permanent though. You could just take that off.
Yeah.
You should get a dinosaur tattoo at 500 subscribers.
There you go. Yes. Oh, look at the bad influence coming through.
Yep.
I know you don't give any advice anymore on taxes or anything like that.
Yeah.
But do you know, like with taking things to Plato's Closet and reselling it, if that counts as like profit or if it counts as like donating?
So it depends on how much you paid for the item first. So if you're selling stuff from your own personal collection that, like, you know, stuff you paid full retail for, like Banana Republic or something, then that would be a loss technically. If you're not, so there's a gray area, because if it's part of your reselling business, then it would be like a write-off loss, you know, because if it's like your first inventory, if you're taking your personal stuff and then making it as inventory in a business and then selling it at a loss, then it's a loss for the business. But if you're just selling it just as is, then it wouldn't be any tax implications at all. It's same as like having a garage sale. Like there's no tax implications having a garage sale if it's all your personal stuff. But if you have a garage sale of your resale stuff, like if I had a garage sale right now with all my death pile and I sold stuff at a loss, then I could write that off because it's part of my business. The last time I talked about that, I think we talked about like a car or something. Like if you sell a car for $5,000 that you bought for $20,000, that's a $15,000 loss. I'm like, not if it's your personal car and you don't have it as part of a business. If it's a business car, the whole life of the car, then it'd be a different story. But generally, no. If it's your own, like you have to think about what your original purchase price of the item was.
I know
it's going to be a loss.
Yeah, I know they're kind of picky because they kind of go through their seasons too. Like I think the video I watched with you, they were like, well, we're looking for t-shirts and kind of always looking for t-shirts, but right now we're looking for jackets or whatever.
Yeah. They say that, and then you take them that stuff, and then they still don't take it.
So it looks like we have another question here from Flips Find Fun.
I have not heard back from them yet. What he's talking about, I did a live video the other day with an eBay executive named Kristen, and I gave her the idea of eBay starting an affiliate program for not selling items, but creating sellers. So if I talk somebody into becoming an eBay seller, they use my code, whatever it is, and then depending on how successful they are, I would get a commission. So if somebody signs up with my code and they turn into, you know, a power seller and they're a full-time seller, it'd be cool to get like, you know, 1% of their final value fees every month or something. Just something to incentivize me as a influencer, whatever you want to call it, to start other people selling. It seems to make sense from a business standpoint from eBay. You know, I'm sure thousands of people have started selling on eBay because of me. I started selling eBay because of Rally Roots. Yeah. So like if I use Rally Roots code to start and then other people started, I don't know. I just really think it has a big incentive for eBay. But then again, I don't know where the money would come from, I guess. So.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, did they reach out to you or did you reach out to them to get them on your channel?
They reached out to me. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it with a couple of other people. They asked me like who I'd recommend them contact and stuff. So I don't know. Some people might not want to do it. I don't know. I got some people saying that it was like a fluff interview and it was only softball questions. I'm like, I'm not out to just, this really nice lady on my channel. Yeah. I'm like, why does he even keep stealing money from some sellers? I'm like,
yeah. They say, wait a minute, that free shipping that happened like right after you did that interview.
Yeah. It depends on who you're talking to. Like her job was specifically over the seller contact, so I'm not going to ask her customer service questions or IT questions, because that's a good way to start to not let eBay want to come on my channel anymore.
Exactly.
The whole time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think eBay definitely has a lot of shortcomings. I definitely think they need to have a revamp of their services and website. But for the most part, I think for the audience that our items receive, that we're able to put our items in front of on eBay, I think it's worth it. I think that the prices they charge and, there's issues every once in a while, but for the most part, everything flows pretty smoothly for me, at least.
Yeah. And I bet that was pretty exciting for you that they reached out to you and wanted to be part of your channel and reach out to other resellers.
There's some sort of video at like right after this that I'm supposed to join. It's like a Zoom call for like an eBay. They're talking about, I honestly have no idea what it is. I'm just supposed to do it after that. So
yeah,
check it out. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. Just search Google. You might find it. Yeah. Once I join it, I'll maybe post. I would say I posted it to my YouTube, but here's a fun fact. So with getting into my daily uploads now, so if you post more than twice, your third post within 24 hours on YouTube kind of suppresses it a little bit. It doesn't post it out to your subscribers and send notifications. And they also count community posts as posts. So I made my video last night at like 8 p.m. or whatever, and then I did a community post today for video for your video. So that's two. So if I do my daily upload today before 8 p.m., it's people probably aren't going to get notifications for that. So if you didn't know that, you might think people just hate you and they're not watching your video. So that's something that took me a couple months to realize. You never want to do more than 2 posts every 24 hours, or YouTube will suppress that.
Rev says he has a question that he wants you to ask them.
Offer should immediately withdraw when accepted. Withdraw from the payment. Yeah, I had somebody buy a pull-up bar for me yesterday for $79, and I haven't paid yet, which is kind of frustrating because I expect that with new sellers. Like right now on eBay, I'm seeing a lot of, or not new sellers, new buyers. A lot of stuff I'm selling is going to people with zero feedback, and that's just because they don't want to buy on Amazon and they can get it faster on eBay right now. But this guy had like 300 or 400 feedback, so I'm surprised he hasn't paid yet. But yeah, I think I don't understand why eBay makes it so complicated to buy something. Like you buy it, and then they're like, "Great, you bought it. Now you got to pay for it." I'm like, I thought that was buying it.
Yeah, exactly. I had to go log in and.
It's giving them a chance to change their mind.
Yeah.
Rev so I don't know. I'll ask that though.
Yeah, Rev says he has a $250 metal detector that is held up because of a non-payer. Yeah.
So for me right now, if that happens to me and I've got an item that is very likely to sell right now, like a $250 metal detector, it's pretty cheap for metal detector, and it's that's one thing people can do right now. Under quarantine, go metal detect, as long as you're alone. So I'm not going to wait for eBay to close the case for me and ding the buyer's account. I don't think dinging the buyer's account matters that much anyway. I don't think eBay, very rarely they're going to suspend somebody's account for it. So I would just cancel like after 24 hours if somebody hasn't paid yet, and I've sent them a message asking for payers, maybe once or twice. I would just cancel it manually myself. Just say buyer changed mind. That way you don't get a ding for canceling an order. And then I would just relist it. I'm not going to wait 48 or 72 hours and then wait for eBay to open a case right now and then ding their account. It's having the ding on their account is not worth you not having that metal detector listed right now. So
yeah. Well, I know you do a little bit of metal detecting. What metal detector do you use?
I have no idea. It is a very, very cheap one. I said I think mine was like $150 or something. Not very good, but I do like it. It's just fun, you know.
Kind of a little treasure hunt.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do some videos with it in my month of daily vlogs because I'm gonna run out of reselling content eventually. I want to start something where, like, I don't know. I feel like every reseller wants to make videos, and they're trying to make only reselling videos right now. I'm like, why don't you just do something different? This is the one time in our life where it's okay to make videos that aren't reselling related. Yeah, they might get crappy views. Like Rally Roots made the video yesterday, I think, about like their Robinhood stock trading stuff. Mm-hmm. I thought it was interesting, but it performed super poorly for them. They had like almost 50% dislike rate. So it's not like, who cares? If you don't like it, just don't watch it. You don't have to dislike it. But,
yeah.
I don't know. I might do a metal detecting video this month. My friend Walter, you got Walter Blake Knobloch. I think he's got like 50 or 60,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. He did a magnet fishing video yesterday. I thought it was pretty interesting. So
nice.
Just find your passions in your life. You don't have to keep making what sold videos and top 10 eBay. Like, just change it up a little bit. I don't have anything else to watch. I'll watch everything out, you know? Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day what I do, like, what do I watch on TV? And I was like, what TV? I YouTube all day long. What do you mean TV? I wanted to answer Flip Finds Funds question here. He said that has seen a higher trend in lower offers, and he was wondering if that seems to be a trend for you too.
No, I got two offers yesterday on a pair of shoes, and both of them were reasonable, like 75 to 80% of what I was asking. So I accepted both of those. I don't think I've gotten a really low offer in a while. I don't think I've declined an offer in a while. Let's say.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband's always telling me, he's like, that's money on the table. He's like, don't walk away from it. So, you know, if it's not where you're going to lose money and you're still going to make what you paid for it and then a little bit, then yeah, take it.
Yeah, for sure.
I was looking here. I don't think we have any other questions at the moment. I know Rev's saying that he's still got a metal detector, the real nice one that he'll give you a good deal on.
Yeah, I saw that. That is a really, really good deal.
I think that's the reseller discount there. Yeah, and he's saying that he is getting 50% off offers on a lot of shoes. Yeah, you're welcome. Do you have any? Sorry, go ahead.
No, pretty much shoes are the only thing I'm getting offers on right now. Everything else is selling full price just because I'm listing like desirable inventory. Mm-hmm. I mean, my shoes I'm getting offers, but I don't think it's 50%. My shoes are already kind of priced low though, so that might be something to do with it.
How did you get into reselling shoes? What, did you see videos or sold a couple and you got hooked on it, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I saw a couple other people doing it, and then I realized that shoes are basically the second most plentiful item at a thrift store other than clothing. Mm-hmm. And I like selling and listing shoes. I have a ton of them right now. I like cleaning them. I don't know. It's just easier for me. It's easy to find profitable shoes. I can go in most thrift stores and walk out with at least a couple pairs pretty much every time. And they generally, for me, have a higher average selling price than clothing as well. So just an all-around better item for me.
Marilyn says, do you have a price limit level for best offers, like no best offer for an item under $10?
I mean, it just depends. Like when I first started full-time, I would turn on best offers for everything just to increase sales. But now, like everything I've listed in the last like 2-3 weeks, I don't even have best offer turned on because I'm just listing at a competitive price and then just waiting for the right buyer. Like I know it's going to sell eventually. Yeah, it depends on the item, like how long I've had it, how much I paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have best offer on everything because, I mean, if I didn't, then what's my name for? No. But if it's something that I listed a couple records recently, and that's when I seen the glitch of the free shipping. But I'm like, obviously, I'm not going to take less than what I paid for it. So, yeah. You know, I have a set limit on what my bottom dollar is.
Do I accept a $20 offer or an item for an item I have listed for 30? Again, it depends on the market value of the item. Like if that item is selling for $30 all the time, then no, I'm not going to accept an offer of 20. But if it's something that, there's 40 of them listed and only 2 sold, and the 2 that sold for $22 and $24, then yeah, probably.
Yeah. What has been your best sale that you have made ever?
I think it was it was that mountain bike that I picked up at that that guy's garage recently.
Yeah.
It was super nice, and basically I paid like $30 for the bike, and I sold it the very next day to a subscriber actually for $300. So it turned 30 to 300.
I know you were talking about taking it to like the bike shop and have it looked at. So I take it you didn't get there to that.
Yeah, I didn't. He messaged me on Instagram and he's like, "Hey, don't have to take a bike shop. What's the best price you could do right now?" So yeah, $300. It turns out if I probably could have got a lot more, probably like 700 or 800, but it's okay.
What is the most surprising item you've had sold recently?
Most surprising. Let's see.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what mine is, and I'm like, I don't know. Actually, mine probably is. I had the thing where you can roll up the puzzle and do it later. That recently sold, and I've had that for probably a year or two. And I was like, wow, it finally sold. I'm like, okay, so what point do I start taking things back if they're not selling? Or do I just keep them on there? Because, in 5-10 years, they'll sell.
I sold this while the show was going on. It's a sealed Yahtzee game. $46.99 free shipping. Pretty good.
Yeah. I actually have one of those out of the packaging, and it sold pretty good money. So I think those are a hot commodity.
Yeah, I've seen it. I usually pick them up. Anything like Radica brand. I think that was Radica, but any of those like handheld games generally sell well, especially now that people are indoors. That's the only one I've ever found new in the package. Like I don't know why people find stuff new in the package. Like who has a Yahtzee game in the package for I think that was from 2006. Yeah. So like 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
Sitting in a package and then you finally donate it to a thrift store. I don't get it.
Maybe they got it as a gift and they're like, boy, thanks, Grandma. I don't want this.
Yeah. And I got a message with that saying that please no invoice. This is a gift. So it's either an actual gift or a drop shipper. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have drop shippers often? I actually just had one of mine the other day. I was like, this is another reseller that's sending to somebody near me.
Yeah. It doesn't happen very often. I'd say maybe once or twice a month or so. And I don't mind it. People make a big deal about it. I'm like, whatever. Yeah. Some people only think of drop shipping as like making money. Like, oh, this guy's making money selling this to somebody else, whatever. I don't like that. But some people are resellers and they sell something in their store they had listed, and then they either realize they had already sold it and it was listed twice, or they can't find it. So instead of canceling the item and getting a ding on their account, they'll buy it from you if you have it in your store and sell it to the person that bought it from them. I think that's probably the majority of drop shipping on eBay, since the other version of it is illegal technically.
Yeah. I've had things that were double listed, and I'm like, I know I sold that. I'm sure I have it around here. So I had to get organized because I hate not having it or canceling it. It just drives me crazy. So I had to get organized. So that's my recommendation to anybody that's starting out reselling. Get organized. I don't care if you have 2 items. Make sure you're organized with it and you know where it is.
Yeah.
And he was asking here $750 if people are selling toys right now. I have quite a few toys listed, and I haven't sold any toys recently. So I don't know about you, Josh, but I haven't had luck with any toys.
No, the only toys I have are those Godzilla toys that I bought from that eBay store buyout. And honestly, I'm probably just going to donate those to like Toys for Tots or something. They're not worth that much, and they're a lot to ship. They're like big, so they have to go in like a 1095 box or something. So they have to go regular priority. And it's I don't know. I think maybe I I don't know. I haven't looked at the market on toys. That's not something I'm pursuing. It's not something I'm worried about. Could be good, but not for me.
And is it Jason? Drop shipping would be good if you have a second eBay account. I don't mind it. I don't have a second eBay account. You know, if I can help another reseller out, then why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't drop ship on. I guess if he's saying second eBay account, meaning like you can use a second eBay account to drop ship yourself. That way, if it gets banned, it's okay. But I just personally don't think there's enough profit in drop shipping to be worth my time, especially now that you can't charge, like if somebody does a return before where you can charge them like a restocking fee, it wasn't bad. But now if you have a return, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it.
I have a question to you about returns because I've had a couple lately. If somebody doesn't send that item back, how long? I know there was like a note on there that said they had a couple days, but like how long does eBay let it go until they're like, okay, no, this person's not sending it back?
So recently, eBay actually extended their time. I think buyers have like 30 days now to send an item back. So it's pretty frustrating. Their reason is like, buyers can't get to the post office now. I'm like, you don't have to go to the post office. You can put it in your mailbox. You don't.
Yeah.
But they don't know that. So I think it's pretty frustrating. I get it that eBay wants to protect the buyer because that's really where the money comes from. A lot of resellers think that we're the ones that make all the money for eBay, but we wouldn't make any money for eBay if the sellers didn't buy our stuff. So I think that's why eBay generally sides with the buyers on a lot of stuff, because the buyers are where everybody's money comes from.
Exactly.
So it's not, we're just we are basically just a middleman between the buyer and eBay.
Yeah. I have actually purchased a couple things lately, and like one guy said he shipped it out and it never shipped out. And so I'm like, well, no wonder people get so frustrated, because there is these sellers out here that don't ship things out, or they say they've shipped it out and it doesn't come. So, I mean, I get it. And eBay was definitely, on my side, and was like, you've tried to contact them, they haven't sent it. So yeah, we'll refund you your money, which is kind of a bummer for eBay, because they're out the money basically, because that person deleted their account and got off. And, that's why they let you report sellers and buyers and everything like that. So I don't know if anybody knows about that, but you can definitely report any buyers that you think are not good in the system.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you promote your items?
I don't. I think I have a few of them promoted, but I don't know. I don't know why. The only time I think promotion would work is if there's like a lot of competition in the market, like something that's still going to sell, but there's a ton of them listed or something. I try not to sell stuff like that to begin with. So I do not personally promote anything.
It looks like Kat, the nurse flipper, was saying she's not okay with 30-day and her funds being held, and someone changed their mind not wanting to send it back. Yeah, it's a little frustrating. I agree.
I mean, if they don't send it back within 30 days, then you would get to keep your money. But just allowing 30 days for them to just take their time, while your money is on hold. So yeah, I don't know. I got a return request just a minute ago. That's what I was looking at for my Dymo. I sold a Dymo, and the day after I sent it, I realized that the power cord was sitting on my desk, and I was like, crap. So I threw it in a poly bag and like printed off another label and sent it back to them, and they opened up return request because the power cord wasn't in there. I'm like, okay, it's fine. You should get it tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah, it's on its way.
Yeah, so now I got to deal with that. But yeah, if they actually wanted to return it, they would have 30 days. They'd have until May 2nd.
Yeah.
To send it back. Then I'd have to get it and make sure everything was there and fixed, and it's crazy.
Simply, Dana says that she likes your hair today.
Quarantine, baby. I ain't got nobody to impress.
I seen you were writing with some Sidewalk Chalk recently too, so you're keeping yourself busy.
I was, yeah. I used some of my inventory. I bought a bunch of Sidewalk Chalk to try to sell it, and I was like, I'm gonna open a pack, and got a little creative. Check out my Instagram if you want to see if it's still there. I think it's still there.
I think it is. I think I seen it this morning.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't have any other questions, we'll end it here so that you can get on to what you need to do next. And
whatever that is, whatever eBay video that is.
Yes.
I'm going to keep my hair the same.
Yes. Like I'm rocking this for the quarantine hair. I appreciate you coming on, and in the future, if you would like to, I'd like to have you back on, and
Absolutely.
we can answer a little more questions from everybody and just help everybody out.
For sure. Nurse Flipper says Emily Conway has a video premiering in 5 minutes. So everybody be sure to go check that out. Emily's got a great channel. And thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming in.
Peace out.